All right, I can officially say this. It is a good time to be a My Hero Ultra Impact player right about now because we have had VE Towers somewhat consistently, and we are getting a new celebration character. We are getting a sick new Kirishima, and also they have finally fixed the summon menu, guys. The summon menu actually loads in a somewhat decent time. Look at that. That didn't take very long at all. That is so amazing. I am so happy about that. And so I'm going to go ahead and test the actual summon right here. It said they fixed everything. We'll see. Hopefully it's not just the transition to the summon menu. Hopefully it's the actual summons themselves, because this is absolutely amazing if that's the case. So I'm going to do my free daily here. Let's see if this loads quicker. Hopefully it does. Oh my gosh, it loaded quicker. That is amazing. That was even with the download there. I don't know what the download is. Probably just from the update. It's not going to be anything, right? Like, imagine I'm doing this daily right now and I get Inasa or something, like the All Might from the last banner. That'd be crazy. We do have the second best outfits, but there's no way that happens on a daily, right? No way. Okay, let's see. We actually got fire. Okay, but no All Might. All right, yeah, it's some sort of SR. Okay, an SR memory that we already have. I don't know why it did a download. It did a download, but oh my gosh, look at the speed! Look at the speed! It's the little things that make me happy. It's the little things, guys. Oh my gosh, massive dub. Hopefully you guys are happy about this too. Let me know down in the comments. But okay, that's just the start of this video. This video is about to go crazy because we got so much big news. This is actually just so amazing. So here we go. We have the 9 million download celebration login bonus. You are going to be able to get some nice rewards from this. However, Hydros has, it looks like, cut off the bottom of it. So we don't know exactly what we're going to get. I don't know if that was intentional or they didn't show it on the banner or if that's something even Hydros did necessarily. But yeah, we're not able to see exactly what rewards we're getting. So keep that in mind. But in addition to this 9 million download celebration login bonus, we are also getting new memories in the USJ and the VE Tower shop. They are already in the game, and so those memories, what are they going to be? So this is the USJ memory. It is called Full Firepower. It increases characters plus ultra move skill impact by 50% if there are any UA high students on the team. Every 2 turns increases characters plus ultra gauge by 20%, gives character the ability to nullify 1 status ailment up to 3 times, and makes character agile for 2 turns up to 3 times. Okay, now this memory might not sound like too crazy, but that increasing of the plus ultra gauge by 20% every 2 turns is actually really good, and the art's amazing, right? The art looks really good. But the reason that is going to be so important is because they have this new skill added into the game. Well, it's kind of been there for a while, but not really any information on it. It's called Fatigue, and that is going to stop the plus ultra gauge from rising. Also, we obviously have the New Year's Uraraka, who could reduce plus ultra gauge, right? So having this is going to probably become essential here in the future. They're going to start messing with plus ultra gauges, is where it seems like the future of the game is going. So you're actually going to have to think more about how you set up your teams to get around plus ultra gauge nullification and plus ultra gauge reduction, right? So I think this memory is actually going to come into play later. So it might be a decent memory to get at least a copy of from the USJ. Most people have USJ medals because they have done their USJ every single day, and you can skip ticket it. It's not very hard, right? The next memory we're getting is a VE Tower memory. This is called Heroes versus PLF Soldier. Increases characters max HP by 35% if there are any pro heroes on the team. Decreases the critical hit rate of all opponents by 15% for 3 turns after receiving 3 critical attacks. Decreases power of all opponents by 15% for 3 turns, and increases character's critical hit rate by 20% for 3 turns after receiving 3 non-critical attacks. So overall, this seems like it would be maybe a memory you put on a defensive character. I don't know. It's hard to say. It shows like Redestro here, so I mean, I can imagine this working fairly decently on like someone like Redestro, but it's not bad. Increasing max HP, decreasing critical hit rate of opponents, and decreasing the power of opponents, and then increasing your own crit rate. All of that is actually pretty good. So I see it being used on a defensive character more than anything. We'll have to see how good it is for a free-to-play memory. This is a memory I can't like immediately see its uses like I could with the USJ memory. Like I can immediately see the uses with this one. This one I'm not so sure, but I do think it could potentially be actually a very good free-to-play memory. So good memories in the shops right now. Go buy those if you are able. Farm out the VE Tower medals if you are not able to buy this one yet. It's going to be important to probably at least have a copy of each of them. here in the future. Okay, and then besides those, we are getting some new sales. So these are going to be the sales that are going on. 9 million download celebration, you are unlocking special pack. 9 million download celebration, you are unlocking alpha pack, and then the beta pack, right? I might actually be willing to spend a little bit more money on this game now that the summon menu is fixed, because it's not so freaking painful to summon. Also, like I said, VE towers have been more consistent. We have a new celebration character coming out. The JP anniversary will be coming out later this year, where hopefully that's really going to be the clincher for how this game does. Hopefully they do some really big stuff, but I'm glad we got this update that fixed the summon menu before the JP anniversary. Like this is all heading in the right direction for me. This is good. This is what I've been begging for from the game for a while. So I'm happy. I'm very, very happy, guys. Like right now, you have no idea. The state of the game is so good. This is a good time to start playing My Hero Ultra Impact. If you are new to the game, this is the time. Okay. So the celebration character Todoroki, we will be getting him very shortly on the 25th, actually, which is crazy right now at the time of recording this. This download was on the 22nd, right? So it will be an Impact Fest banner, meaning you will have 1.5 times rates. And I have not looked at him yet, so we'll have to see how good he is together, okay? But it looks like he is going to be featured on the banner alongside memories we have already had, so you don't have to worry about trying to pull the memories. They are going to be completely useless. The only thing you're pulling for on this Impact Fest banner is Todoroki himself. So hopefully you didn't go too crazy on Komori, even though she was like, you know, hype, because we do have the celebration character. Now, to be clear, this is not the global anniversary celebration character. This is just a celebration character they drop later. The global anniversary is long over. This has nothing to do with the global anniversary, okay? More than likely this has something to do with the 9 million download celebration, but it's just like, I don't know. Why did they not release a celebration character for the global anniversary? Can't tell you. But hey, we got one now, so we're heading in the right direction. Let's go. Let's take a look at what this Todoroki can do. Once again, this will be my first time actually reading through his kits. I will react to it with you guys. I will let you know what I think of it on the spot as we go through it. So his plus ultra move is called a winning fire and ice attack. Deals 650% damage to a single opponent with a high chance 70% of burning the opponent for 4 turns. 4-turn burn is actually always good, especially if you have Hellfire, because that means the Hellfire is going to do more damage. So you could run him with a Hellfire character, potentially like Dabi or something like that, and do more damage, which is interesting. 4-turn burn is good. 70% chance, high chance is good. And then shortens cooldown time of all allies by 1 and gives them a barrier that nullifies 1 hit. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of barrier. I've said this for a while. Barrier just kind of multi-hit attacks, get past barriers very easily, so we'll have to see how that ends up playing out. But I'm a big fan of shortening cooldown time of all allies. That is good. And then his action skill 1 here, if I could just scroll correctly, action skill 1, Frozen Suppression, increases defense of all allies by 25% for 3 turns, increases their max HP by 20% for 3 turns, and increases their critical resistances by 30% for 3 turns, and also gives them a barrier that nullifies 1 hit. That is a lot of stuff going on right there. That is a lot of like just damage reduction overall. That's actually pretty decent. However, cooldown time of 6, that makes me a little bit nervous. Now, granted, he does shorten the cooldown time to 5 with his plus ultra, but like, it still makes me nervous. Okay, I hope down here in the auto skills we have something about reducing cooldown further. And then, so this is a 3-turn cooldown though. That's one important thing to note. This is good because you have shortened action skill cooldown time here. Fire Dance deals 300% damage to all opponents with a medium chance, 55%, of burning them for 4 turns. That's pretty good. An attack all that has a medium chance to burn all opponents for 4 turns. That's solid. Increases the plus ultra gauge of all allies by 20% when used in a 6-second or later successfully executed skill chain. That's really good. And then when character is regenerating HP, increases this skill's skill impact by 40%. Oh, he's going to be able to regenerate HP. Ooh, that must be in the auto skill. Okay. And so that means that will hit even harder by 40%. That's actually okay. So his first one made me a little bit nervous, being a full support skill, being 6-turn cooldown, but this skill right here being a 3-turn cooldown essentially with everything that it does. That makes me feel a little bit better. That's actually pretty dang good. And then for the first auto skill, Blazing Determination, increases defense of all mind type allies by 20%, increases character's plus ultra gauge by 10% every 1 turn. Also shortens character's cooldown time by 1 after 1 turn passes while using barrier. This is kind of worded weird. This makes me nervous, okay? So also shortens character's cooldown time by 1 after 1 turn passes while using barrier. Does that mean just as long as you have used barrier that turn, you get the shortening of the cooldown? Because if so, that's fine. But if it wants you to end the turn with the barrier still on the character, bruh, that ain't happening. That is not happening. The barrier will be gone. So that is that part is not so much okay. Okay, if that's the case, I'm worried about how that's worded. That makes me very, very nervous. Also shortens character's cooldown time by 1 after 1 turn passes while using the barrier. It counts as using the barrier even if it gets hit, right? And goes away, I think. Hopefully that's how that's going to work. But increasing defense, once again, that's pretty good by 20%. And then increasing plus ultra gauge by 10% every 1 turn. That's also pretty solid. So overall, not bad. This part just right here in particular scares me, makes me nervous. And then for the last auto skill, temperature maintenance, regenerates HP of all allies by 10% for 2 turns and cancels one of their temporary status ailments when used in a successfully executed skill chain. Ooh, okay. That puts technicals on both of these skills. And he has status elements. He's going to be really good for VE Tower in particular. Also increases character's max HP by 10%. Up to 5 times after 2 turns pass while not using barrier, and regenerates character's HP by 5% for 1 turn. All right, I don't know how I feel about barrier. I don't know how good he's gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. It makes me very, very nervous seeing this barrier stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's take a look at his arts. Okay, the arts look actually pretty decent. I like the Awakened art more, which is why I put it down here in the bottom left corner. But I do like the Awakened art more. That looks pretty good. Yeah, my honest opinion of him, I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know how he could be really, really good. Celebration characters are typically really broken, but reading his kit for the first time, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like he's just crazy broken like when I saw the other characters. He might be. He doesn't have any like speed for himself or for the team. He does have a lot of support for the team, but he doesn't have any speed. He only has 1 attack all, and his other skill is just a full support skill. I don't know. Anytime we have characters with like full support skills, it makes me nervous. Compress is the exception. He's really good, but we don't have too many characters with like full support skills who are really good. So I don't know. Yayorozu also the exception. Celebration Yayorozu. But yeah, I don't know. It makes me nervous. He could be very good. I think this is just a character we'll have to wait till we get him in game. We see how he looks to make that final decision. Okay, I've rambled on enough about that. Let's move on to the next thing. The next thing is we are getting a Kirishima banner here on the 1st of March. So remember, the Celebration Todoroki is coming out first on the 25th. Then we get Kirishima on the 1st of March, as well as a new UR memory, a new SR memory, and a new SR event memory. So we'll start with the SR event memory. The SR event memory is called Maximum Power. During battle with a boss, increases character's power by 30%, limited to team. Also increases character's skill impact by 30%. for 3 turns when used in character's 3rd successfully executed skill chain. I don't think we've ever really seen something that says during battling with a boss. So I'm interested to see how that ends up working out in the game. Are they preparing for like a future boss game mode, or is this just having to do with event bosses and stuff like that? I don't know. Curious, but I love the art. The art looks really good. This is kind of a weird SR memory, I'm not gonna lie. Then we have the summonable SR memory, Firm Convictions, increases character skill impact by 50% when HP is 50% or higher, restores characters taking damage by 35% for 2 turns when HP is below 50% up to 1 time. I don't think this is going to be anything too crazy or anything too essential. Once again, art looks great. The UR memory. Now, let's see if this is any good. This scene in particular, so funny. Refresh with a bath increases character's max HP by 40%. When using barrier, increases character's max HP by 10% and increases plus ultra gauge by 20% up to 20 times. Damn. And cancels 2 of their temporary status elements up to 20 times. Wow. That's crazy. So that might be a really good memory. This right here, this memory is what's going to make barrier useful apparently. So if you don't have this memory, barrier is not going to be nearly as useful is how it seems. But yeah, this is probably going to be a must summon memory if you want to use characters with barriers. This is going to be, that's actually crazy that they just did that. Plus ultra gauge by 20% up to 20 times. And max HP whenever you use a barrier, and cancels 2 status elements. Yo, that's crazy. That's actually that's gonna change things so much. If people have this memory and they have barrier characters, that's actually, whoa. Think about the implications of that. That's gonna be crazy. Wow. I actually really want this memory. Okay, now if that's the case, is this gonna be a barrier character too? I assume so. I have not read Kirishima's kit either, so let's see. I did kind of see his art already. His art, I love this art. I love this art for Kirishima. It looks good. But we're finally getting a green Kirishima. Plus ultra move, Red Sprint. Deals 650% damage to a single opponent, decreases their power by 15% for 3 turns, decreases their speed by 15% for 3 turns, that's good, and decreases their critical hit rate by 15% for 3 turns. That's a lot of reduction on the enemy. Also gives character a barrier that nullifies 1 hit. You guys already know how I feel about barrier, but that might have just changed with the introduction of this memory right here. Holy crap. And then action skill 1, Unbreakable Claw. Deals 425% damage to a single opponent, decreases their power by 25% for 3 turns, and decreases their speed by 40% for 3 turns. Okay, that is a lot of speed reduction. That's crazy. Also gives character the ability to cover allies for 3 turns, and a barrier that nullifies 1 hit. Just 1 barrier though. Like, I feel like in this case, if you just have the character, like so far, just looking at the kit, if you don't have this memory, you're not getting all these extra like plus ultra gauge and cancel status elements and stuff like that. Like barrier is still not great. But if you have this memory all of a sudden, like barrier is like the best thing in the world. So interesting. Cooldown time of 5. Action skill 2, Ardent Frenzy, deals 400% damage to a single opponent and decreases their speed by 20% for 3 turns. When used in a second or later successfully executed skill chain, increases character's max HP by 20% for 3 turns and increases critical hit rate by 20% for 3 turns and gives the character a barrier that nullifies 1 hit. 4-turn cooldown. Both single target attacks, so I don't know how good he's going to be honest. Auto skill 1, so these auto skills are what need to like make or break him. Firm Guard. Reduces damage to character by 25% and increases character's critical hit rate by 30% when covering allies. Okay, so he's actually going to tank pretty good and hit pretty hard at the same time because he has crit hit rate here and crit rate here. Also gives character a barrier that nullifies 1 hit up to 5 times and the ability to nullify 1 status element up to 5 times after receiving 3 attacks from characters that are not strength types. Okay, that's kind of okay, but like by the time you've been hit 3 attacks, you might already have those status elements, those stuns on you, and have made your action skill chain useless, right? So like, I don't know how good that's gonna be. We'll see. Auto skill 2, Men Fight Barehanded, decreases critical hit rate of all opponents by 10% for 3 turns after receiving 2 attacks from an opponent with powered down. Decreases critical hit rate of all opponents by 10% for 3 turns after receiving 2 attacks from an opponent with speed down. And then also shortens character's cooldown time by 1 after receiving 3 attacks from an opponent with critical hit rate down. Oh, so that essentially becomes a 4-turn and a 3-turn cooldown because they have to hit you because you're drawing aggro with your skill 1 here. Okay. I mean, I can maybe get behind this. He might be okay. So I think the idea is you plan on like, if this would be more of a PvP character, okay? The idea would be that you are slower for turns 1, 2, and 3 potentially. And then after turns 1, 2, and 3, ideally you survive those, and then you are going to be able to reduce their speed. And then on turns 4, 5, and 6, you'll be faster, and you'll also be tankier. You'll also have the damage of the crit rate and stuff like that, and you'll be able to beat the enemy in PvP. We'll see if it ends up working out that way, but I think that is potentially how this is going to work for Kirishima. So last but not least, we need to take a look at their plus ultra animations because that is really going to cinch it for me, because honestly, when I saw Celebration Todoroki, like I wanted other Celebration characters, right? I wanted Mina, I wanted Mineta. I would have been hyped about them. Todoroki's outfit kind of boring with the suit, but you know, if his animation is good, I can get behind it. And Kirishima, I just know his animation is going to be good. So let's go ahead and take a look at their animations. This plus ultra is provided courtesy of Hydros Impact. If you guys haven't checked out his channel yet, go check it out. He also does all the data mines for this game, so shout out to him. Let's go ahead and see what Todoroki looks like. Okay, he slides in on the ice like a normal Todoroki, right? Okay, that's just the intro animation. All right, that's not the plus ultra. Let's see what the plus ultra looks like. I feel like this looks very similar. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with the, I feel like they're like, okay, we didn't release a celebration character for global anniversary. We need to get one out. What's the simplest one we can do? Simplest outfit, simplest plus ultra animation. I'm not going to lie. I'm not super happy with this because this just feels very similar to the other plus ultra animations we've seen right here with this plus ultra animation. There are other, I want to put a side by side if I could, but I'm not going to. But like, yeah, there's definitely other Todorokis in the game that have a very similar plus ultra animation. That's not my favorite. Okay, we do have the intro and outro animations at least. So we got those. He looks cool in that outro animation, right? So we got that. But I honestly, not the biggest fan of Celebration Todoroki so far. I don't know how I feel about him. I'm probably more excited for Kirishima. Let me know how you guys feel about it down in the comments. Let's take a look at Kirishima. All right, so here's Kirishima in his Unbreakable. Oh my gosh, it already looks better. He may not have like the custom city background or whatever, but like, yo. Okay, nothing too crazy there actually. It wasn't too crazy, but I like that little run up. That part in particular, this part in particular, I like that a lot. The start is fire. That is fire right there. Okay, the rest of it, like, I guess it's hard to make him look cool, right? Like, because he just makes himself hard, but like, still, it's not bad. It's not that bad. This is a general pool character. I like the general pool character's animation better than the celebration character, but you know, maybe I'm just crazy. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. I think it's a great time to be playing My Hero Ultra Impact right now with the bug fixes, with the new characters coming out, with VE towers being somewhat consistent, with the JP anniversary here in a few months. It's just a lot of good stuff. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments, like I said before. If you guys did enjoy the video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. Peace.